Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra Kaye, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, and this is the Demetra Kaye Show. I want to say at the top of the show, we are not live, but we'll be back live later on, as tonight is debate night, where Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump will be having their first debate, and I think it's going to be more watched than anything on the planet, because, it's going to be interesting. So we'll be back here tomorrow's show to talk about that. I don't know what we'll talk about tonight. Maybe we'll talk about Kamala's policies. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. But nevertheless, today we're going to talk about that of Brother Tyrese Gibson and him going to jail. We thought we'd switch it up a little bit because we've been going hard in the paint with politics. But him going to jail due to not paying his child support. So we'll get into that just a little bit. But if I didn't already, the purpose of the Demetra Kaye Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. We're going to be here about a half an hour. We're going to cut this show down just a little bit short today because we got started late. But anyway, Donovan, how are you?
I am doing great. As you know, I've already briefed you before the show started, some of my trials and tribulations. But I'm doing great. Hey, you guys, there's a scrolling banner at the bottom. If you guys want to donate and help the content creator continue to make these great videos and these great discussions, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, check, money order, and cash is always appreciated because it does take time and effort to make these videos. And that's a great way to contribute to the show and get this message out and start these great discussions. Also, don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get that on Google Play and the Apple Store. Phil Scott, Vicky Dillard, Demetra Kaye, a whole plethora of producers and interviews and different things that deal with the African diaspora and how it affects us here in the United States. How many of you guys heard that the Haitians have taken over a town in Springfield, Ohio? And that was legal immigration we're talking about. We're not talking about illegal immigrant. We're talking about legal immigrant. They're having problems with that. Demetra, real quick before we go, isn't it funny how all of these Midwestern towns and Eastern Board C towns are now complaining about immigration, but yet the border states have been dealing with that for 40 and 50 years. It never was a problem as long as these border states had to deal with it. But now that these people are going into the interior, oh my God, what is going on? Oh, this is crazy. Oh, it's not fair. The resources. What the hell do you think we were talking about? And I tell people all the time, if you watched my show yesterday, I tell people all the time, if you're in Iowa, if you're in Ohio, if you're anywhere in the Midwest, Oklahoma, all you have to do is look at California, and that will tell you all you need to know on Democratic policy and what they feel is how to run a country or a state. And Black people have no future in it. So again, welcome to the show. And again, you guys, the debate is tonight. Don't forget to tune in. And by the way, Demetra, your girl finally, with 55 days to go, she put her policies up on her website. And I saw your video on the African Diaspora News Channel. And you did a texting on it. And like you said, I had to double check you. Like you said, she only mentioned Black once.
Yep, so we'll talk about that tonight again in anticipation of the debate, which will be very interesting and highly anticipated. So anyway, Brother Tyrese Gibson, who was a singer, of course, a lot of us learned about him when he was on that bus there in Los Angeles in a Coca-Cola commercial, singing with all this beautiful pearly white teeth showing. And from that point, as he said, he parlayed that into what it is now, a movie career, singing career, just you name it. But Tyrese has not been without some drama and trauma. Recently, he was in court, it sounds like in Georgia, with his ex, Samantha Lee. I believe they were married in 2017 and they divorced in 2020. He talks about it quite a bit. He even wrote his album in part due to their breakup and things like that. Well, it sounds like she, being Samantha, said her mother or other people influenced her to just leave Tyrese, because he said, I didn't know what happened. Like, all of a sudden, she was divorcing me, and he tried like hell to stay with her. She didn't want to. Of course, we also saw her go on a podcast saying, oh, well, if I would, I would be back with him. But in the meantime, she sued him for child support and wanted spousal support, but he was like, nah, because we got a prenup, right? Let's stick to that. But of course, she's trying to weasel her way out of it. Now they have a daughter, Soraya, who is 5 years old. And it sounds like Tyrese rather, was ordered to pay a little over $10,000 a month in child support. And he's like, why? Why does a child need that? Of course, they're still fighting the prenup type of thing. But so anyway, the judge was like, yeah, you need to pay $10,000 a month. He was not paying that. He was ordered to pay that in last April 2023. Sounds like he was paying like $2,200, but not the $10,000 or whatever. And so he did make a post on Instagram on Sunday, said, hey, I'm probably going to be going to jail. I'm just letting y'all know. So yes, he went to jail that following Monday, which was yesterday, and was held in contempt for not paying his child support. And the judge ordered him to pay about $74,000. Guess he was not going to do it, so they held him in contempt. Now his lawyer did appeal, so they let him out without him having to pay the nearly $74,000. But I guess eventually he will have to pay that. Now, it said that he owes into the like $100,000 or so in child support. But of course, this is sparking a lot of controversy because I looked. Tyrese Gibson, it says, I don't know how true it is. Maybe he's worth more. That he's worth about $4 million. For somebody of his caliber, that's probably not a lot of money. But it sounds like Samantha Lee wants a good amount of it. Now, mind you, he has a child already. I think she's a teenager that he's still caring for, paying for, and things like that. So it's not like it's just Soraya, the baby that needs to be taken care of. So it's going to be very interesting. They're appealing. Obviously, he does not want to pay the $10,000 plus that he's been ordered to pay. Will they reduce it? I don't know. It also sounds like it's some contention with the judge. Tyrese has accused the judge of being hostile toward him, not wanting to hear what he has to say. One time he told him to shut up or something like that. This is my courtroom. You don't ask questions here. I do. Now, Tyrese and his lawyer tried to get the judge recused, but the judge himself was like, no, I'm not recusing. So it basically sounds like it should have been up to somebody else. But Atlanta sounds like they got a whole lot of jankiness going on in their legal system. But nevertheless, again, a lot of people are like, this ain't right, this, that, and the other. Donovan, what's your opinion on what's going on with dear Tyrese? Oh, I should also say he's got another girlfriend that he's been with for a very long time. Well, a couple years, I say 4 years or so at this point. And that also sounds like where it gets kind of wonky because a lot of people, or I guess from her perception, other people, well, he spending all that money on his girlfriend. Why he can't pay that money for his daughter? Take it away.
Do you really want to know my opinion as a victim of the American child support system? Here's the deal. Tyrese has a movie out that's being streamed. I think it's in limited release in the theaters called 1992. I think that's the name of the movie. Just dropped an album. And it's so sad. Just like I experienced when I was in the military. Every time I got a promotion, I didn't get a promotion. My kids got a promotion. It seems like I was being brought into court for every little dime that so let me put it like this. In my 24 years in the military, I made equivalent to what an E5 was making. That's what I got to take home and live off of, which isn't really a lot to do because, again, I know people say, well, nigga, you should be making all them damn kids. Da, 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 da. That's not the point. I was paying $1,600 a month for one child. One child. I'm not an NBA basketball star. I'm not an entertainer or whatever. How many of you guys know that in this nation, one of the founding elements of this nation was this is not a debtor nation. You're not supposed to go to jail because you owe money. But yet we have all of these women out here, especially Black women, with student debt loans. You all should be in jail according to what is going on in the child support system. You owe money. You're not paying it. Go to jail. So, I got a lot to say about this. You guys got to remember this dude is fighting two exes. His oldest daughter is about 17. And his current ex-wife, the one that basically made him go to jail, which to me, ladies, that is the stupidest thing to do. Because if the golden goose is in jail, how does he make money? I digress. She is a male influencer on YouTube. If you go to her YouTube channel, she is giving advice to men in how to, date women in relationships and stuff like that. But before she got into that, if you guys do your homework, she on her, I think it was her Facebook page, was a feminist. Then she took that off and became a male influencer because she knew she was going into the male influencing stuff. So my question about this is, it's a damn shame that you have to incarcerate a man. You don't hear too many of the white stars. I'm not saying that they don't go, but you don't hear about it in the press and things of that nature. What this woman is doing, she signed a prenup and she's been trying to crack it. And the sad thing is, the only people that are going to make money off of this is lawyers. Because if she had to pay her attorney fees currently, those attorneys would drop her. But knowing that Tyrese is a commodity, she's got 4 lawyers representing her pro bono because they're going to get their money on the back end. So the best way to destroy this man is to financially ruin him. I think it's estimated that Tyrese is estimated in legal fees alone, his and her attorneys, it's about $15 million. $15 million. 2 grown adults cannot adjudicate their problems without giving the money to other people. And it's sad because you know what? When it comes down to it, ladies, kids don't give a damn about the money. They give a damn about the time. And it's unfortunate, but you're not supposed to go to jail. I think that is the worst thing about it, is to give a man a record and go to jail. And I want to leave with this too. Demetra, it is so ironic that women of high stature and high money capability are saying the same thing that men say when dealing with the child support. Prime example, Mary J. Blige. There is not an interview that she does not go in talking about how unfair it is that she has to do what she needs to do. So we're in an election season. Why isn't anybody talking about revamping the child support system? A lot of people would be paying attention to these candidates if they were talking about that in regard to what are they going to do about it. No doubt in my mind, the system is unfair to both sides, but it's more unfair to the higher earning person. And I'm with Tyrese. A child does not need $10,000 a month. We all know that's BS. That money is going to the mother, and it's not right. So.
Yeah, and I was just kind of a little stuck on you saying that she was I guess a male influencer, and I just was looking on her page, and I guess she's trying to spread peace, love, and positivity, and all this other stuff. It's like, Heifer, if you don't shut your mouth, today.
But isn't that hypocritical? You're talking all this male influence, but yet you're putting your ex to the ringer.
And it's like, but I see she got almost 1 million followers. So it's not a lot of people too mad about what she doing, and she's a pretty woman. I don't know what she is. She's obviously mixed with something. I don't know. But she's a good looking woman, but she's a horrible person inside. You're trying to ruin this man. And listen, Donovan, I'm not one of those people be like, oh, I don't think men shouldn't pay child support. Firstly, I think that parents should try to work it out. I don't think the child support system is the first place you should go. But if that, for whatever reason, is not an option, I believe whoever is the custodial parent should pay the child support, whether it's the man or the woman. But also, I don't think that a person should be raked over the coals financially. Because to me, the ideology is, well, let's say you didn't have this child, you still needed a place to stay. You would still have to pay for your own rent, your electricity, whatever it is you need. The child is there, and you still would have to pay for half of that child's needs, along with the custodial parent would have to pay the other half of the child's needs, because that custodial parent still has to pay for where they lay. So, but to hear that she's talking to people, my thing is, who's listening? And why are y'all listening? Because she couldn't tell me nothing. She couldn't tell me nothing. But I'm going to tell you another thing about her is She listened to, as Tyrese said, it was her mama that was in her ear. Oh, you should leave him. You can get more, blah, 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 blah. And she took her up on it. So she thought because she's so fine and all this other stuff. And listen, I know there's a sucker born every minute. There was some born in 1970, 1980 that'll take her up on it, okay? But she thought she was going to get out there. And, you know, I don't know, maybe she's got a man, but it don't seem like you got one that's got money because you're trying to work your own dude, you know, for your lifestyle or whatever. But she thought she was going to get out there and all these men was going to take care of her. If I was a man, I'd be scared to death. I see what you're doing to this man. Listen, you fine and all, boo-boo, but I can't make you my woman. You damn sure ain't finna have my kids because God forbid, I'm like he said, he was traveling and he found out he was getting divorced. You might feel like I need to divorce you and then I'm going to take you to court for all that, something you didn't work for. We got a prenup. And you want to circumvent that so you can do what? Eat up off of me? Nah. So I have a problem with people following her and listening to her. And I saw a lot of people were taking her to task in her comment section, talking about you trying to ruin a black man, this, that, and the other. But see, let me say, pump the brakes. Those brakes belong to a train. Okay. As I always say, and if I catch somebody running around here with my talking point, what's behind the booty? Because if you ask me, Tyrese's women kind of all favor each other, except for the one he with now. She a dark chocolate sister. Sound like maybe she from the motherland somewhere. I don't know. But Tyrese, did you find out what kind of woman this was you was putting your babies in? Now listen, I know people switch up. I know they do. I know originally you could be with somebody who's a good woman, a good man, and then they, for whatever reason, do something else, okay? But you married this woman, and I think that Tyrese is doing what he's supposed to do. Hey, we getting a prenup, but she's like, no, I just know this is gonna be the way we're gonna get out of this, whatever the case is, which is why a lot of times we gotta look deep before we leap, because everybody's, you know, I don't know, but I hate that for him. I hate that for anybody that is getting taken. Because listen, I know men, and I have a lot of other men who've been done that way. Like you said, $1,600 for a child to do what, ma'am? And like you said, every time you got $1 more, she wanted at least half of that. I have a brother who has been raped through the child support system. Every time he bought a piece of bubble gum, well, how did you afford that? Oh, well, you know, I'm going to take you back to court. Let me tell you something. My brother's told this story before. I don't think he mind me telling you. My brother was balling out of the gym at one point in time, okay? So money was not an issue. He was trying to buy this house, and he was in the middle of a divorce. He had to have her sign off that she was not going to be on the house because they were still doing the divorce. But in order for him to do that, he agreed to pay her a certain amount of child support because he had it at the time. Well, this is when the real estate market took a dive. So everything, you know, turned crap. When they were arguing or at court trying to figure out what the child support should be, I should tell you right the rip, she wanted $18,000 a month, which originally he agreed to because he was making a lot of money, right? But as I said, the economy took a turn. When they got there, she had itemized that she needed $1,200 a month just to eat out. And the judge said, ma'am, did you say you was a stay-at-home mom? She says, yes. She said, what stay-at-home mom need $1,200? Now, mind you, this was like 15, almost 20 years ago, okay? She said, what stay-at-home mom need $1,200 to eat out? She said, if you're a stay-at-home mama, you should be cooking at home. She says, I will not grant you that. So it was just a whole bunch of stuff like that, you know, but from that point, it's just been pure hell. So with that, the child support system does need an overhaul. I don't think you should be able to take a person back to court every time you see them eating a bologna sandwich. How you afford that?
Well, and you think about it, like I said, we all realize it needs to be revamped because it isn't fair. Child support is leading a lot of men or non-custodial parents into homelessness. They have nowhere to live. You're mandated to pay all this money. Now you're subjected to being arrested, which is totally ridiculous. How does arresting a person gonna make the situation any better? And then while you're in there, let's think about this common sense wise. Okay, you're arresting me for not paying my child support. Let's say all my kids are grown. I do a 5-year bid for not paying my child support because that's what it was adjudicated. I have to do 5 years because I owed that money. I come out and I still owe the money, but I've been in jail for 5 years at your bequest. Should my debt be wiped out? It should. But see, the child support system doesn't work that way. The man would still owe that money or the interest on it or something like that. It's totally insane. And this is what we're dealing with. And then we wonder why. Notice, Tyrese is a well-off man. Now, I quoted the movie 1992 and a new album. Demetra, do you realize that when that movie broke down, that was his Achilles heel? Because they knew he had a movie that came out and it's doing fairly well. And they itemized his thing and said, oh, you're making money on this, so we're going to take you back to court. Has nothing to do with the other issues that they've been fighting for over the years with the prenup. They're fighting for every little dime. And this woman is on her platform telling men and influencing men how to be better in their relationships and what they should be doing. And she's over here raking this man over the coals. There's a famous clip of her talking about if she had to do it all over again, like you said, she would get back with her baby daddy. Well, if that's the case, why are you continuing trying to crack this prenup? It's a case of saying one thing and doing something totally different. You know, and it's sad because, again, I mean, the man is well off. But notice the court system does not treat him any differently than the average dude on the street. Give up the money, itemize what I have to do. But when I ask, okay, well, hey, I got a judge, I got a question. I've been paying so much money, but yet my child is in Dickies and a t-shirt and some Chuck Taylors, but I'm paying $4,000 a month. Can I get a itemized thing of what she's doing with the money? Oh, no, sir, you can't do that whatsoever. How dare you question a woman and her needs of how she deals with the child? But yet I'm couch surfing on friends' houses because I have no place to live. It's lunacy.
Yeah, you know, and she did say I'd get back with him. He didn't want her back. And I think that's when she, you know, the venom really poured. Rejection. You know, it's like you kicked this man all up in his tailbone 50 ways the last Sunday, not next Sunday, but last Sunday, and he didn't want you back. But for one, he says, I'm already in a relationship. What I'm supposed to do, get rid of her and go running back to you? You ain't all of that. And you showed your true colors. And I'm low-key scared of you because I didn't even do anything to you. You know, and he said, and people were thinking he was lying. And she said he didn't do anything to me. So he's like, I feel vindicated, but now I won't be back with you. You know, so I think the rejection of it all really messed her up. All right, well then, bet, game on. Now I'm going to take you back and get all I can get. And it's like, nah, heifer, go wag your behind in front of another man and catch you another sucker. But see, when you have that type of profile, that high profile, a lot of men out there like, yeah, I'll treat you like a trampoline. I might take you out to dinner, you know, get you some steak or whatever it is you might want. But yeah, you ain't getting now. No. And a man worth his weight, I wouldn't even want to be in the same room with her because you know what she about. You know, she about catching the brother up. Yeah, and you know, and taking him to the bank. So that's what it was. She got rejected and she didn't like that. And let's keep it a buck. Hey, as I said, I'm a woman, so I know about women. And I know that as soon as a man gets out of a relationship with a woman, usually she's a bitter woman. Maybe she didn't want to be with him. Or however they ended up out of that relationship. The minute they see he's in a relationship with a woman, that he's happy, they're flourishing, she's doting over him, and you know, they're taking these little vacations or whatever. Because you know, people don't keep shit private. Oh, I said the S word. People don't keep stuff private no more. They tell all their business. That's another thing. And this men and women, as my mama always say, God rest her soul, don't talk your money. Don't you have to be on the internet telling all your business, because you know that's how they get it. Oh, word. They at the Maldives. Oh, that got the house. Look, get all up on Google flights. Oh, well,
you know, or you have those friends that owe you money, but you see them going on a cruise, but they owe you like couple $100.
Yeah, she all up on what you Google flights. Oh no, well, if they went first class, because I know he ain't the coach type of man, and so he trying to prove on for his boo thing. And yeah, that was about $7,000 for them to fly over there, and they stayed at a night. Oh, okay, all right, bet he's spending money on her, and I'm sitting over here mismanaging my funds. You know what I'm saying? But yet they want to take him back. See, that's why I think the judges say, "Listen, homegirl, this man is already writing a check for you every month for this child, and if you can't make it do what it do, then give him the child, because clearly you mismanaging your funds. And how about this, sassafras? Go get your ass a job, okay?" Target is always hiring. Walmart, Chick-fil-A, Jack in the Box, Taco Bell. They always hire. What? Listen, Amazon are high anybody damn body. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I had a master's and could not make it do what it do, and I had my black ass at Amazon for 2.5 months until I rearranged my understanding. But I got that job and like that. So what I'm saying is, if I was a judge, I'm like, you're not gonna keep bringing this man back here every time you see him crack open a peanut. Go work.
Well, and a quick story, ladies. I'm going to tell you guys, speaking from a man, we ask questions. At least the guy worth his worth that has anything behind him is going to ask the question, and he's observing how you treat your baby daddy and what happened in that relationship. He's looking, because if you did that to him.
But let me say this too, and I'll cut you off.
Go ahead.
In Utopia, you would think that's the case. But there's, even in the other way around, there's always a man. Oh, he didn't treat you right. Oh, he took you to Ruth Chris. Bet I'm gonna fly you out to Ruth Chris. You know what I'm saying? He thinking he gonna make her a better woman. She's a horrible woman, no matter how much money you got, boo.
Because again, Demetra, you know my story. I paid all my child support, right? Didn't get a raise all those years, didn't complain because I'm overseas fighting and there's nothing I can do. She's getting default judgments against me, right? The system's horrible. You got military members that were getting default judgments against them and nothing, no consideration. Well, Judge, here's my DD 214, or here's my discharge papers. I was in the military. Here are my orders. I was in the Middle East fighting for my life, fighting for this country. Judges don't even give a damn. Not all of them, but some of them, most of them, the system, they don't give a damn. Okay, I'm thinking I'm in the clear. My son is grown. He hit 18. I'm done, right? I'm done. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know this woman had the nerve to drag me back into court because she and her girlfriends figured, what you mean he ain't paying for secondary school? That's a standard now, blah, blah, blah. But my agreement was in 1993 where it said 18 or he graduates high school. The judge looked at both of us. He looked at me and he said, Mr. Sadiq, and I'm paraphrasing, would you like to continue to pay another 4 years of child support and such and such and such that goes along with that? No. We're done here. Thank you very much. And then her friend, that's the lawyer. Oh, no, that's the standard, Judge. We got it. They fought tooth and nail to do everything. And the judge was like, look, you can't go back, just like this woman's trying to do to crack that prenup. It's not going to work. This is what he agreed to. You both signed it. We're done. Why are we here? You're wasting the court's time. So now it's a standard when whatever, you got to do secondary, whatever it is. But the point is, the system needs to be revamped. If you're for child support or if you're against it, I don't care, because it is what it is. It's a flawed system. You ask any high-profile woman, like a Mary J. Blige, like there's another lady, I forget, that she's going through it as well. And they sound exactly like men. This is not right. Why does the child need this? Wait a minute. We don't have any kids together. Why am I paying him alimony? We were only married for 5 years, blah, blah, blah. All the same arguments, because it's ludicrous the way the system is designed. It's designed to be abused by the abuser.
Yeah, and it's really sad. Because like I said, it's not always the case that a man gets with a woman and he didn't do the vetting to figure out who she was. Some people flip the script all the time. People, switch up. They do. And there's nothing you could do about that. You went into a relationship with the best intentions, and you thought that they went into the relationship with the best intentions, and unfortunately they didn't. And unfortunately, good people end up paying for being good. And y'all know, as long as I've been on here, I always say this: be careful what you do to people, because it comes back to you. You run around being a rotten person your whole life, thinking, oh, this is how you're supposed to be in life. I just do what I want to people. I'm taking him back to court for all this money. And because let's keep it a buck. The judicial system, as far as child support is concerned, is heavily favored for the woman. And she knows that. She knows, unless she gets a really good judge, that she could go there and just kind of, well, the kid is getting older now, and I need oh yes, okay. Like you said, they don't care if the man can't afford it. The man got to get, I know men, including Donovan, that have to get jobs to pay this child support. Because like, I can't take, like, in this woman's mind, she thinking he living high on the hog, like he living in the Taj Mahal, and she's not. I should be living like that. No, you live like you work. If you working at Walmart, then that's the lifestyle you affording, But to keep doing that to somebody is horrible. So I say all that to say, if you're a horrible person and your intention is horrible, I don't care what it is, that's gonna come back to you. You're gonna have to pay for the things that you do, and it pains me when I see horrible people doing horrible things. I'm like, God, you don't think you're gonna get that back? Who taught you that you could be a horrible person and do any and everything you want to do to people, and you'll never have to answer for that? See, that's why I don't move like that. I always say, if I harm somebody, it's never going to be intentional. But there's people like Samantha Lee and her homegirls, and even men who do the stuff, that wake up with the intent on harming other people because somewhere somebody has taught them you are better than everybody else and you could just do what you want. Nah, because God, karma, or whatever system you believe in, is like, oh, because I haven't knocked on your door, that means I ain't keeping tabs. Oh, you'll get this back. It ain't gonna be like you sent it out though, and it'll blow your mind. You'll never understand.
Yep, and the sad thing is, you got these guys that are out there on food stamps, or they're eating top ramen, trying to support their kids the best way they can. Because again, we're in a system that Black people are at the bottom, so I don't know where these women get these exaggerated numbers. After doing all of that and going through all that hell, he is still labeled a deadbeat dad. After all that he did, he would still be labeled a deadbeat dad, and it's just sad. And I have a lot of military friends, and I've seen some friends delete themselves based off of everything that they've done, and gone through, only to be coming back rather than a hero or have a relationship with their children, to be estranged from them and all this other stuff. And this seed put into that child's mind, even to this very day. And I'm not ashamed to say this, because I haven't done anything wrong. My oldest son knows the truth and knows everything about the truth. And this is one thing I hate about the Black community. We put the Black woman on this damn pedestal. Even when she's wrong, she could do no wrong. Yeah, I put the lights in your name and messed up your credit, but I'm your mom. We got to get away from that. And, mom could make mistakes. That's all I'm saying. We need to humanize mom. She can be outright wrong. Mom could be doing drugs her whole damn life and not do nothing for her kids, but she is still memorialized. Well, that's my mom. And, she's this, whatever. She goes through things. But let dad be on drugs or whatever the deal is, be irresponsible. He a deadbeat. He didn't do nothing for me. Oh, he this and he that. We're the only group that does that. And we got to take that woman off of that pedestal and normalize her and make her be human like everybody else that makes the same mistakes as everybody else. But in our community, the Black woman can't be talked about. The Black woman can't be held accountable. All of these things that hurt our community. And another thing is, when you're going through a rough patch with your spouse or your significant other, stop listening to these bitter aunts that are bitter themselves. Go to people that you know that are successful in relationships. Go to the pastor, whatever you need to do, but stop listening to people who have an interest in you failing in your relationship.
Well, tell us how you really feel, brother. I mean, I largely agree with you, but I think that happens in everybody's community to where you know, unfortunately, and like I said, I'm a woman, I'm a black woman. Ain't no man walking on this earth gonna tell me about women. I know about women, I know about the good, bad, and the ugly. I know about it all. And so I would say that happens in every community. But yeah, you're right. Mama could be doing some, just her whole life ain't never been no good. Well, that's my mama. You know, like I watched the first 48. I know we're about to get out of here, but I watched the first 48 a lot. And the last one I watched, the lady, big time dope fiend. It's been her whole life, even to the point that she ended up dead. I'm gonna say she ended up dead. And unfortunately, her longtime boyfriend did it. He's like 75, she's 58 or something like that. But the day before the day after they found her, she was supposed to show up in the court over hitting this man in the head twice with a hammer. Now, I guess she had went over there and they was drinking or whatever happened, and he ended up shanking her to death. But so they went to had a conversation with her daughter, and her daughter was like, yeah, she gave me away when I was like 2, because she's always been on drugs and just always been the woman of the streets. But I love my mama. Oh, I can't believe somebody did this to my mama. And she's the one that told them, yeah, I think it was her boyfriend on and off that did it. And he did it, you know. And he was just like, I was just tired of her. I was just tired of her, you know. So he ended up going to jail and stuff. But even with that, I'm like, how did it make this hell for the victim? Now, okay, she the victim because she got shanked up 17 times. But I'm like, well, so we just gonna gloss over that she knocked this man in the head 2 times with the jail, had to go to court the next day to answer for it. And he said when she showed up that day, she was about to rock him, sock him life, just acting. So I'm not saying he should have did what he did. They should have probably put a period to that relationship a long time ago. But I said, even in death, mama, she's the saint. After she been cracking and hoeing her whole life, gave her child away, knocking this man over the head with a hammer a couple of times, and she still, listen.
Mama,
right.
Mama, you're the
yeah. You know, the daughter was like, how could he do this to her? It's like, yeah, this woman gave you away. She gave you away. She was a known prostitute in the neighborhood. You know, do your thing, Mom, do your thing. But to make her this deity after she done knocked the fool in the head with listen, she done slap him, pop. She hit this old man in the head with a hammer twice. So I get it, but like you said, had he pushed her off a curb, you know, remember 1972, he pushed my mom off the curb. He always been rotten.
All men are no good. Oh, girl, this is what happened to me. That's their relationship. You're different. Stop listening. Girl, you better watch these men. Yeah, you know, you want a cautionary tale to be instructed. But Auntie was in the 80s. What she's not telling you was she was popping it off in the club and doing all that other stuff. And she was probably a passive aggressive type chick. I'm not making excuses for whatever, but the lunacy of it is you let a man have 6 different baby mamas. Oh, he a deadbeat. Look, he out there spreading his seed irresponsibly, whatever. But you let a woman have 4 baby daddies and 6 children. Oh, she's just a single mom. Did you see the correlation to that? You can't shame her, but you need to shame him.
And it's all right for her to go to the backpack giveaway every year with 4 baby daddies. Ain't asked one of them rotten Negroes for a dime to buy no books, no papers, no nothing at the free backpack giveaway. But let that man end up, well, what's wrong with you? You can't work? You should be ashamed of yourself. And I agree to that to a certain degree. But like you said, the shame is different. A woman, you know, don't get me started because I get in trouble. I do have my theories, you know. But the other thing I would say to this, Donovan, I know we're supposed to get out here, but I would say this. Auntie Glodine and all of them back in the day, they might have been the biggest hoe in the neighborhood. But guess what? They didn't talk about it like they talking about it now. Auntie Reba and all of them, they all up on the internet talking about what the clubs they going to and
busting it out open. We could all see it getting trained and all of that.
Back then, they might have had all that. I mean, they did, but you didn't know your auntie was a hoe. Auntie showed up at the Thanksgiving dinner, criticizing everybody macaroni and cheese, and then she went off until Christmas dinner. But she because everybody had that auntie. It's like Auntie Roro ain't never worked. How she living like that? She got a nice apartment, bills is paid, got a nice car. She ain't working. Because as I saw some old lady say on the internet, my business ain't your business. Don't worry about how Auntie Roro getting all this pay. But listen, the one thing you'll never know is how I'm doing this, because it ain't your business. I'm not flaunting it for you to see. Just know that I'm taking care of. These women nowadays, they ain't got no shame. They let everybody know that they're being treated like a trampoline on clearance at Walmart.
You know, and again, bring shame back to the neighborhood. You know, that's what we need to do. In conclusion with Tyrese, it's unfortunate, but there's no question in my mind and in a lot of people's minds, especially with you women. And it's really sad. This is what's really crazy, real quick, Demetra. Since women now are making more than men and are more than half of the workforce in the world, men are wising up and using the very laws that were set up for the women that stayed home or the other family. And now women are screaming it's unfair and it's not right. So what I would strongly suggest for you ladies out there that are feminists and want to get out there in the workforce and make more than a man, and you don't need a man for nothing, don't have no kids with that man, because guess what? He's going to drag you into court and you're going to be funding his lifestyle. And like I said, to the great Kevin Ferdeline, who showed the brothers the way, continue to give us your blessings, my brother, because hopefully we can do a come up just like you.
Shout out to Britney Spears' ex-husband, baby daddy, who done got a bag off. I ain't mad at him. No, I ain't mad. But anyway, we love and appreciate every last one of y'all. We'll be back here at 5 o'clock, give or take. It's 3 o'clock now, my time, Central Time. I'm going to get this up relatively quick. And so we'll see y'all back in just a few. In the meantime, you guys have a great rest of your afternoon. Peace.